This week on the season finale of Benny Sencha, I get a bit drunk.
If there's been a more impressive tasting paddle that I've had than this, clearly I've forgotten it.
Eat a beer ice cream, and suffer extreme disappointment.
Anyway, sometimes this stuff happens when you're doing a travel cooking show.
All this and less on everyone's favourite travel beer show, Benny Sencha.
Traveling across the lands in my little camper van. Sit down and have a few. I'll tell you what you gotta do. It's in the Benny Sencha. It's in the Benny Sencha. It's in the Benny Sencha. It's in the Benny Sencha.
Picturesque Wallaga Lake is gorgeous enough to demand weeks of your attention.
I've never seen so many shells. So many of them. They're almost like rocks. There's that many shells.
But with only 2 days left on our trip, it's time to move on. After I return that pint glass I nicked back in episode 3. Like Wallaga Lake, the next spot we're visiting is a very important place to the region's first inhabitants, the Yuin People. It's one of the most visited beaches in the world, but you've probably never heard of it.
You can see why it's called Camel Rock, why the settlers would want to call it that. But long before they gave it a name, it was known as Marunna, and it was a very important cultural site for the Yuin people. And people would travel from all around the coast to go to corroborees here. And that smaller rock that's coming off the side is known as the Mother, and they believe that that warns people about storms coming in, people in the water, sailors and things like that, being careful fishing nearby. So in a very literal sense, people have been coming to this spot for 60,000 years.
A swim is a pretty good way to start the day. But I want a bloody ice cream, which is why we're back in Bermagui.
One place that Nikki and Chris told us that we really missed out, and a few other people told us that we had to go to, is the gelati place here. They use local ingredients in all of their gelati. Nice spot to enjoy it from as well. So I had to go a double scoop. On the bottom is their choc chili. You can taste the chili. It's so jammy. On the top, this is a malt hops one. This is a beery one. Let's see how beery it is. Oh my god. Oh. I should have known sooner or later on this beer journey that I would have encountered a beery ice cream. That is like a super strong pale ale. That is really rich. The hoppiest, this can match the hoppiest beers I've ever had. That'll be too much for some people, but that's why I got the choc chili on the bottom to mellow out. What's amazing about this place as well is that they use a lot of local ingredients, they use local milk, and they rotate based on what's available. So you're having some of the freshest ice cream you're ever going to get here with a lovely view. Awesome dog. My first breakfast ice cream, but not my last.
As usual, just a short drive south opens up a new chapter of the coast. The waters are clearer, the bridges narrower, and the grass, dare I say, greener. Who knows? Maybe the beer might even be beer. Pub locations don't come much better than Tathra Hotel, which after 130 years of operations decided to say fuck off to the pokies and opened a craft brewery inside the pub.
What a mix of beers we have here. Look at these colours. It looks like the Belgian flag here. And this first one is the Spy Hopping Lager. They've all got like whale themed names. Spy hopping is like what killer whales do when they're looking up to see what's happening. And it is 4.1%. Cheese. That's a really good lager. You could have 10 of those. I already want to have 10 of those already. Really easy drinking with just some nice hoppy malty flavors just hanging around the side of your mouth, like a little fish hook growing the side of your mouth like that, but just there to stay. So it's a catch and release fish hook, you know, without that barb. Yeah, it's good. That's a 9 out of 10. That's a really nice lager. That's just a lager for good times on a hot day with amazing view. Palate cleanser. Next up is the First Calf Pale Ale. It's 5%, a little bit of a darker colour. Cheers. This is the ice cream from this morning in a liquid form. And it's very hoppy. Before it even went in my mouth, I could taste it. It's like it's coming off of the top. It's really balanced. It's smashable as well, but enough flavour that I don't know if I could have more than maybe 2 or 3. Boy, that's something. That's really good. Wow. Why the hell not? That's another 9 out of 10. That is, oh boy. Next up, the Melon-Headed Amber, 4.8%. Almost a purplish, sort of plumish colour. Melon-headed refers to the melon-headed whale. I thought it was named after a dude with a big head. Cheers. That's weird. That's almost like a spicy kind of like a cardamom-y kind of taste. Green like cardamom pods or star anise, like barbecue sauce. It's like barbecue sauce in a beer. Have it with your bacon and eggs in the morning. That's a real sipper. It's almost sort of syrupy, but it's still a bit light and that's like complex. It is not easy drinking compared to the last two. They're nice with some curries or something like that, definitely. But something else, something different, that's really good. I think I give that an 8 out of 10. It's really nice. Maybe even a 9. Lastly, look at that. Also, look at that big creamy head. Dr. Knott's Porter, 4.3%. We can't see through that. It is impenetrable as the night sky itself. Dr. Knott is a whale biologist that lives just down the road, so the whale naming continues. Cheers. Oh, that is a really rich porter. That's almost a bit smoky. Dark chocolate right away. Little bit of the dark roasted coffee bean. A bit marshmallowy. Not the sort of thing that's like ideal on like a hot day like today in such an amazing spot, but during the colder months, oh my goodness, this would go down so well. Almost kind of a bit like Rocky Road. It's like sticking to my teeth. It's hugging my teeth. My dentists would be freaking out if they saw me drinking this. That's another 9 out of 10. And that's delicious. Really well balanced, really creamy. Oh boy, oh boy. Our top brew of the week is the Spy Hopping Lager. I just had that really rich like porter full of a lot of flavour, but this still stands out as something delicious. If you could only get one drink here, get this one. This burger, the beef patty, is made here.
Freshly ground.
Freshly ground?
Yep.
I love seeing a little pink patty like that. Oh my goodness.
Pink patty sounds like a drag queen.
A beer and a burger and a view like this on such a lovely, warm and sunny day. It just doesn't get much better. This is incredible. You get this burger because I'm gonna probably eat them all if you don't. Some pubs are very hard to leave, and that's one of them. We were only there for about an hour. You could spend 20 hours there. Tathra Hotel since 1888. Oh my god, they've had a lot of time to perfect the pub experience. That's about as perfect as it gets.
Half an hour south of Tathra Pub is our last stop of the trip, the jolly little town of Pambula.
Cow on the roof. There's a cow on the roof.
Famous for beaches, food and wildlife. We've been told Pambula Wetlands is home to hundreds of birds and the best place to see the local wildlife. So there's just a little area where they've conserved a lot of the natural wetlands, which is awesome. Oh, this is my cup of tea. This is bird fun. I hope they've got those little signs that got facts on them and shit. There are plenty of signs, but not a single bird in sight. It appears, like the town's residents, they have tucked in for an early Sunday evening. But not everyone has gone to bed just yet. Hey, look who we got over there.
No.
There's a big ass kangaroo just there.
Oh shit, yeah.
And that kangaroo is going to be my dinner.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, we gotta go, that is too big. Oh, fuck me. Still watching us.
There are some like country friends of mine that are gonna laugh so hard when they see me freaking out at a kangaroo like that. It was huge.
I've never seen one like that big.
It's the size of a man. The only one I've seen bigger than that is like fat ones in the zoo that get fed, you know, full dairy croissants. Now that we've officially been big dogged by a kangaroo, it's time to drown our sorrows in some sausages. Just so not. This is the sort of kitchen I'd want to have if I was hosting a cooking show anyway. The chopping the surface right here, cooking surface, bam. These were from Bermagui Food Emporium. They make these themselves.
Oh.
I'm having a barbecue somewhere, especially if I'm using nice sausages like this, you want to make sure you got a nice sauce with it. This is made in Eden Preserves Old Tom tomato sauce. Just sitting around with a beer and a nice little patch of grass like this, eating a snack. The sun rises on our last day, which means we're running out of time to taste a Pambula specialty we've heard about up and down the coast. Wild Rye Bakery pies. Oh my goodness, the smell. Nothing like a lovely pie for breakfast. This one is their beef and red wine pie. Oh, that was such a good bite. That was really buttery pastry. I'm worried it's like too hot to bite into, but like, you know, some mistakes you gotta make. Oh, that's yummy. That's really good. One thing I always got to ask whenever I'm at a place where there's a lot of selection is what's your best seller? And they said this, Thai chicken curry pie. Oh. Oh wow. Oh, that's gonna wake you up. These are two amazing pies. I doubt they make a bad one here. I was thinking it was mince at first, but no. Real delicious piece of chicken. And that curry sauce, that's really good. Fueled up, we head down to Eden, one of the last towns on the New South Wales coast, assuming you read the map from top to bottom. I'm very excited to go to Eden because if there's one thing that Eden is really well known for, it's well, killer whales, Old Tom mostly. But also it's the mussels, because you can cook mussels in beer. And this is a beer cooking show. Everyone all up and down the coast to talk about Eden mussels. They even bring them into Sydney sometimes. These mussels are so good. So we're gonna go there, buy them directly from the boat, and then we're gonna go cook them up with our fresh accoutrement we got from the Tilba markets. It's gonna be delicious, beery, muscly fun. I cannot wait. Surfing the menu, Benny style. Yeah. Hello there. We wanted to buy some mussels.
Oh, you couldn't.
Oh, really? Okay, right.
We're just doing maintenance today, but tomorrow we'll have some.
Bummer.
Okay.
I know something that'll cheer you up. The Whale Museum.
And here he is, 6.7 metres long, 22 feet, is Old Tom. Old Tom was the leader of a pack of orcas that used to herd whales into the bay for the whalers to get. He was about 35 when he died, and he would get so impatient with the whalers sometimes, he was known to actually grab their tow lines and drag them along. We can actually see on his front teeth are slightly damaged on one side, and the locals liked him so much that when he died, they decided to keep him as a reminder to other whales what happens when you're a snitch. After all that, I think I need a drink. Looks like these are the only mussels we're getting down the coast. But there's a big consolation prize. Where we're staying in Pambula is walking distance from Longstocking Brewery. This place, there's a massive tasting paddle with like 10 beers on it or something.
That's awesome.
So I'll go get you a little bit of paper that tells you.
Thank you. Holy crap.
If there's been a more impressive tasting paddle that I've had than this, just on looks, clearly I've forgotten it, which means it wasn't that impressive. Katie's having some as well. This isn't orders for me. She's having this side, I'm having my side. There's a boy's side and a girl's side. We're starting from light, going to dark, and finishing with 2 ciders. A lot of these are the ones that they've brewed just inside. Some of them are guest taps because they have a lot of people having them right now and they can't keep up with demand. So this first one is a guest beer. It's by Capital. It's a Pilsner. It's 5.2%. Cheers. Yep, just a nice light Pilsner. Just wetting the whistle, getting me started. Well balanced, a little bit bitter, a bit strawish. No, I don't mind it. Nice Pilsner, I'd give that like a 8 out of 10, it's good. I should point out as well, for this whole thing, for Katie and I, $20. Pretty outstanding. They are small things. The guy said it's the equivalent of about 2.5 standard drinks each. Next up, Capital XPA. It's 3.5%. A lighter extra pale ale. Cheers. It's nice, it's fruity. It sort of dissipates, it's like gradually, but you can tell there's a bit less extra alcohol in here, but a lot of flavour. I'd say that's pretty balanced for something with a bit less alcohol in it. I'd probably give that 7 out of 10. Number 3, Dangerous Ales Pale Ale. This is another guest one by Dangerous Ales out of Milton. It's 5%. Cheers. Almost tastes like seafood. And I'm not sure if everyone agrees with this, but when you taste something that tastes like seafood that's not seafood, it's kind of a bit what? Like apple juice seafood, the sort of thing that drink on Canada Day, trick tourists. I sort of expected pale ale to have a bit more flavour. This just tastes a bit weird to me. It tastes a bit metallic, a bit wobbly. It does taste a bit like an oyster. That's not really doing it for me. I'd probably give that like a 4 out of 10. Yeah, a bit weird. Number 4, this is the first one on the paddle that is brewed at Longstocking. Sessions IPA, 5.3%. Looks pretty sessionable. Cheers. That's a bit melony, stone fruity, and a bit of mammy noodles. Yeah, it tastes a bit sort of like 2-minute noodles or something. That's kind of weird, like, you know, for an IPA. I know it is a Sessions IPA, so they want you to be able to drink a lot of it because they can sell more that way. But for me, maybe this is almost a bit too sessionable and we're losing sort of the IPA-ness of it. But it's kind of funny because Imperial generally means more alcohol, but Sessions generally means less. So you've got Sessions, Sessions and Imperial. Isn't that kind of like having like a full sugar Diet Coke? Well, it's done one thing right, it is sessionable, knocked it back. Not a bit of flavour at the back of the tongue when you knock it back rather than sipping. I'd probably just give this one a 6 out of 10. Number 5, the Bent Spoke Barley Griffin. There's a little bug in mine.
It's 4.2%. You can get this where I live, but I've actually never tried it. Cheers. Holy dooly. Oh gosh, you can't ignore that. It's got that real strong Capital Brewing taste. Their beers, they really taste like a good, solid Taekwondo kick to the knackers. Almost a little gingery. Pair well with maybe some spicy curries. Really nice, downed it super fast. 8 out of 10. It's good. Next up, Vienna Draft. This is a lager. Gorgeous color. You just want to sing at it. So cheers. Oh, pal. Oh, pal. Oh, buddy. Oh, mate. Woof. This is not a lager that your granddad's going to enjoy, but this is one that you might enjoy, unless you're watching Papa. It has that sort of strawy kind of, just a little bit of grass. Oh, what is it? It's so hard to be able to get everything across in just these little, this is basically a shot glass. That might be a bit too challenging for some people, this almost sort of tortoise shell type of flavor. I'm into that. I'm into that. That's an 8 out of 10. That's nice. There's something about it I just can't put my finger on. Something a bit earthy, a bit pepperish. That's just, it's much more complex than your average lager. There's almost 3 waves of flavor in there. Fast food. What do you reckon?
To me, it's just a very smooth.
Yep. Hey friends, Benny here, just in my little home offie. So you can see I take it very seriously. It's why I've got 2 screens. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here. Benny, get back to long stocking. You were just about to review the long stocking beers, man. We were excited. Guys, I'm really sorry to tell you this. I just checked the hard drive, then I'm going through trying to review it, and the files are gone. They're corrupted. I'm absolutely devastated, quite frankly. Luckily though, Katie does have some footage from her phone that she took just for fun. We ate so many oysters. I think Katie and I ate like 13 oysters each. Champagne and ginger oysters were nice, but their 3 cheese oysters were really good. I never eat baked oysters, but these were yummy. It sort of converted me. And we also got their seafood board, which had mussels on it. Delicious with this bread and oh my god, they were the tastiest mussels I'd ever had in my life. They were like smoked mussels. And they were eaten mussels as well, so they managed to get some. Fucking hell. Unfortunately, I can't really remember their beer too well. We did get a bit silly. It was a lot of fun, but the real standouts were actually the ciders. Their ginger beer was really nice. I got an extra mug of that, and so did Katie. And their apple and rhubarb cider was really good. I got an extra mark of that, and that one I gave a 10 out of 10 to. That was outstanding. So yeah, a bit of a massive bummer, but hopefully that fills in some gaps. While I am upset, I'm grateful that you've even watched this far. Here's Katie and I rounding off the trip back at camp. Well guys, this is where the journey ends, with a big plate of the South Coast's finest. Bread made in Pambula, and then some jerky on the side made in Wollongong. We have the cheese from Cupid's Estate, Mystery Bay kelp cheese from Tilba, and then we've got some lovely cured pork neck and pate from the general store in Cobargo. And then we've also got this lovely pickled zucchini from Berry. This is what it all leads up to, really. Tucking into a big plate of this is just how I imagine the trip ending. I can't imagine a better one. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. And if anyone asks, you know who sent ya. I sent you. Okay, alright, we'll do it another take.
Tell him Benny sent ya. 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 I said, ooh. Traveling across the lands in my little camper van, sit down and have a few. I I'll tell you what you gotta do. It's in the many cinches.